Session 2 of part 4, flow sessions. Had an interruption that turned my phone off then, the recording off. So it's just opening up to that bigger awareness that we are more than human here in 3-dimensional to get ahead in the physical outside realm. That it's the other dimensional aspect of our soul coming through us is the fact that we're here to create. So we're opening to that understanding. That's why we're here, not to, to invent in the physical realm, of course, but not to overdo it. And so anyway, the point I wanted to make was, if we don't have the soul aspect understanding, then we begin to have other attachments with the outside world, and those attachments fill up our field more than the beauty of us coming through more into the world, the way it's meant to, what we're here for. And so that's why we feel discontent as humans. We'll put our light out, which our light is our feelings. We'll let our feelings be pushed down or hidden, or others tell us and we believe them as to how we should be. So that's why, I'll always say that community, like at a church center or a spiritual group or anything like that, is always good to get that connection that there is more. But this is ongoing every moment of our lives. So at any time, take time to check in with your interior world. And you don't have to believe me or trust me, but as time goes on, when you do that, and when you're sitting in quiet, you can call it meditation or just quiet, where you reinforce with your ego, which is the one that's sort of in control most of the time, thinking about, the various attachments that you do have to have, like dealing with those people or working with someone or anything like that. Where was I? Because I just got interrupted by a sound. So you have those attachments with the world, but the important thing is that when you have that time alone, you're going to start to get to know your energy field, as in your unique frequency. Each soul is a unique field of light. And that's essentially what you want to light up as you walk through life. What you don't want, which is what I've learned as well. So I've learned that there is this space that we light up of ourselves, which is good to remember to come back home to your own temple of light and clear, life out for a bit, so then you can check in whether some attachments are serving you in life. And I don't mean serving you as in like the ego battle power play of life should be a certain way. I mean, is this fulfilling, and am I in a nice space with life? And so that's the difficulty at times when you're going from the attachment world as though the outside is more important, but it's not, and you've got to get these two in balance. It's not important to keep up with attachments in the outside world unless, and this is growth, you can feel that spaciousness and growth, allowance around it. If it's something you feel like you have to do, and you're not really content, and you can feel it in your lower body, because these are the lower chakra consciousness, like they're actually bodily in our space. I'm just doing this for money, or I have to put up with them because I have to get this done, or things like this. This is where you clean out your temple at any time when you practice it, and knowing that you have a space, you are a space, and you have to take care of it. Because this is not just a space in the air. This is actually our bodily functional design, and everything's going to correlate back to it. That's why, if you learn anything about the chakra consciousness, when something is going on in the interaction with the outside world and us, if there has been something that's been weighing on us and we concentrate on it too much, say for instance, a widespread one is like some pains in the body will show in the chakra area of the body. So the lower back and hips area can relate to struggles with maintaining finances, or like overdone maintaining, or a struggle there in some way. You can get lower back pains and it's kind of like phantom, it comes and goes. Or it can be like really trying to make a point. You are concentrating on this part of your life too much, and it is wearing your energy out. Or relationships, you know, that's also this area where you might be battling to keep things the same, or relying on someone a lot. So there is an imbalance where the person isn't coming from the inner growth and strength, which is probably the last aspect I want to get to with this 2-part flow session, is notice the reliance you may have built up from not having instilled some inner strength growth, because the inner strength growth needs to come out instead of the reliance on other people and attachments, because of exactly what I was just saying, where signs will show up in you physically, and you can it can show in all areas of your chakra consciousness, all the way through the body, of how it all relates, where something is overdone or even underdone, when it's a bit of both. It's that interplay where I'm not relaxing enough or taking time out for myself. I just keep giving, and then I'm wondering why, you know, I feel off, discontent, confused, trying to figure stuff out, scratching the head, you know. So the reliance that is going from like waiting for someone to be different. So this person is like waiting for this reliance, but it's not coming because it's relying on the self that is needed. The growth of the soul, the reliance on the person to grow. Just notice when that happens, because it can happen at any time, and there's some patterns in there that perhaps you've picked up or been taught or seen, and just thought that was the best way of doing something, or that's the way we get through life. That's what I've seen all the time. So just notice if you have dependence on the outside world, and you're noticing that, like a struggle with the outside world. This person isn't doing that, or how come I'm not getting that? If something keeps telling you that, don't spend your energy on it. Go into the quiet. Journal what it is you want, And I would let it go and sit in quiet with it. So you're not struggling with a reasoning with the person, but what can I do? What can my soul do? If this is making me unhappy, involving myself in this situation, I have other options. Sit with your soul. And we got to not forget also that we're a spirit. So the spirit aspect of us is always going to be the higher vibrational draw point. So if our spirit likes, so get to know your spirit. What does your spirit like? Does it like adventure? Does it enjoy intellectual things, or being at certain environments or places or interactions of different particular things, like different crafts? There's so many different craft kind of things you can involve yourself in. Because when you focus on that, then you're lifting and living your spirit, and your spirit is essentially connected to your soul being qualities, your soul and being qualities. These are one and the same in that way. So you're living who you know you are, like in the joyful things, and that's going to help your guidance as to what other options and how you can feel strengthening yourself as well as doing something you enjoy. That's why it's good to follow through on hobbies that might become, your occupations for a while or a lifetime, or what is it? So it's that allowance of your energy field, and you get to know that space, and don't ever leave it in the background for anyone again. So we do build our strengthening of our body backbone in this way, where if I don't feel good in an environment or a situation, then I'm politely going to decline or leave. And I don't need to have a power play over that. I'm simply standing up for the space I inhabit that is me. It's getting to reinforce in the world that it's okay to be me, and I don't have to push myself in your face or, tell you I'm doing it, unless you have to stand up for yourself at some time, which do that and just do it in a strengthened, polite manner. Because these attachments in the world, if we don't pull back into our space and analyze who we are, and get to really embrace that space, like it's quiet love. It's like you're sitting in a space where you sort of just, you like it because you're embodied in it, and it just becomes more of an embodiment. So you're sitting in a quiet love. And the only mistake we can make there is if we started attaching ego to that love, so it becomes more like, I am this, rather than, these are all my qualities that I grow and strengthen, and I'm happy to show and share them. But not, do I have to enforce it or push it or something, because sometimes we all do that because that's growth. We want to grow in a world where we can interact and feel good, and that's essentially what you should follow, remembering we are an interplay of getting to know ourselves but never let yourself feel so down because of the outside world. Detach. So I hope that's helped. And I'll see you again soon for another flow session. Take the time with yourself and really don't feel bad about allowing a space that is yours. And I pray that you do that as often consciously that you want, that you want. Where there's not a battle with the outside world for you to want more, and you will go without your ego into that space, and then, you know, it's reinforced a little bit with the presence of your personality and expression, and you will bring it out. And remember, if you feel like the world isn't supporting you in that, your current environments or any situations, then that's where you go. You go within, and remember, you have options. We're temporary beings on the planet. So in your temporary time on the planet, you make sure you go within and gently bring that out, and use the ego in a way where they blend together, that you're not going to quieten your spirit down. You're going to bring it out. And the ego doesn't need to be used in an enforced manner for that. It's just like, well, this is who I am. I know. But stay open to change as well. It's not like we get to a point and that's it. You're doing the inner work. You're blending it with your ego, your body, your personality, you know, your spirit. You're blending all of that for growth, for more of that. So accept change. It's going to change. But you'll always be that soul. So you can always rely on your internal world. That's important. It's like, I'll just finish on this last aspect. It's like we've been living here thinking, I am this person with this name, address, these friends, this job. And now it's like, I am and always will be this eternal soul here temporarily. So there is going to be new growth, new change, and I have to make sure that is supported by me. And in that, we realize, in that reliance on ourselves, emanation, space, our field, the law of vibration brings us, our souls, what we need. It's when we get to points in life where our energy field is full of the attachments, and we're scratching our head, or we're confused, or we're wondering why something happened, or why isn't this door opening. That's because we're expansion. We've got to expand now into new or different. So sit with yourself quietly, open up to other gentle flow in ideas, and don't let the ego disregard it, because the ego can be overpowering from the attachments in the field. So it can be like subconscious, past or present doubt energy, where the ego just swipes out any incoming spiritual inspiration that says, you'd be good at this, remember you like this, try this. And then all other things could open up. where we've been operating from, no, you can't do that, and then you hear someone else's voice from the past, oh, you couldn't do that, or that's too much for you, or how, how could you possibly do that? All that. Sometimes we take on that because it's still in our energy field. So if we could all look at those things, that'd be great. And I love these flow on sessions because I'm realizing they are just flowing on from one to another, because that's life itself. So it's not, they're not really like separate segments or anything. It's just, the flow on effect of what my vibration is receiving, feeling, and living. So, and that's what we're all doing. God bless. Have a great day. I'll see you again. Bye for now.